Hello, I hope you're ready for part 3. If you're not, then I don't know why you started the video. Haha! So number 1 on this is talking about inverses. In fact, this entire page is talking about inverses. So the first one just says to find the inverse of the function, and this is actually really easy. Inverse just means opposite. And in this case, what we're going to be doing is just switching the numbers. So the opposite of x being -1 and y being 0 is going to be x being 0 and y being -1. And this whole question is really just as easy as that. You are switching the two rows. So all of these x values become y's and all the y values become x's. That's the opposite. Instead of pairing an x with a y, you pair the y with the x. So instead of 2, 6, it's 6, 2. -2, 3, nay, it is 3, -2. 4 and then 5, it is 5 and then 4. 1/2 and -7, I don't think so. -7 and 1/2. Congratulations, you're done with number 1. It's an easy problem if you know what to do. Just switch the location of the numbers, but the numbers stay the same. Here, first of all, don't let f of x, g of x, h of x, whatever, don't let those confuse you. Just change it to a y. When you're finding the inverse, just like here, where you switch the x and the y, you do that here. You switch the x and the y. So instead of y equals, it's x equals. And instead of -2 x to the third, it's -2 y to the third, plus 3. From here, you're going to do algebra to solve for y, and then we'll be done. So to get y by itself, you have to get rid of the -2, the 3, and this 3 as well. You just have to make sure you're getting rid of them in the proper order. And just know it's very rare that you can actually simplify things. It's just literally in 3 steps, get rid of those 3 things and you're done. Your answer is not supposed to be pretty. So do you know what to get rid of first? Excuse me. The answer is the 3. You would subtract 3 from both sides to get x minus 3 equals -2y to the third power. Then the next thing, you have to get rid of the -2 and the 3. Which one do you get rid of first? And the answer is the -2. Since it is -2 times y to the third, you would divide by -2. And you get x minus 3 over -2 is equal to y to the third. And as I mentioned earlier, none of this simplifies. It's not really supposed to. So you just need to get rid of stuff. And in the last step, you get rid of a cube. And the opposite of cube is cube root. So take the cube root of both sides, and you just get y equals, and then this whole monstrosity of an answer. And that's what you're supposed to do. It's not supposed to be pretty, it's just supposed to be right. So I'll go ahead and do this one. If you want, pause the video, see how much you can get through it. I'm going to change this to a y. I'm going to switch the x and the y. So it'll be x equals the cube root of y plus 2 minus 3. So think, what do you get rid of first? What do you get rid of next? What do you get rid of last? In this case, you add 3. So x plus 3 equals the cube root of y plus 2. So the next question is, what do you get rid of? And then how do you get rid of it? So you have to get rid of the 3 or the 2. In this case, you're supposed to get rid of the 3. Because the whole 2 is trapped underneath here, you do need to get rid of that first. So you have to know what the opposite of cube root. And the answer to that is cubing. So put both sides to the third power to cancel those out, and you just get y plus 2. And as I said, do not think too hard. You are just supposed to write to the third power. You do not actually have to cube things in here. I can almost guarantee if you try, you'll get it wrong, because it is more complicated than you might think. Lastly, subtract 2 and we'll be done. Y equals x plus 3 to the third minus 2. Answer. GG. In the next problem, same thing. We'll make this x equals 2 minus 3y. We'll subtract the 2 over to get x minus 2 equals negative 3y, because you got to bring that whole thing down. And we'll divide by negative 3. Okay. That's it. So for the next question, this one's a weird one. It says determine if f and g are inverse functions. What you're supposed to do is actually do a composition of functions. That is to say, you take this whole thing and you plug it in for x there. So like instead of x to the third plus 2, it would be this thing. Yes, this thing to the third plus 2. And when you simplify it, it's either going to turn into x or it's not. And then you would do the same thing again. You take this whole thing and plug it in there. So it would be the cube root of 2 times not x, but x to the third plus 2. So it's a composition function. So this whole thing goes in for that x there. So cube root of 2 times that. And once again, you're going to do math, and either it turns into x or it doesn't. If they do turn into x, then they are inverses. If they do not turn into x, then they are not inverses. So we'll find out. Cube rooting, cancel each other out. So you'd get 2x minus 3 plus 2, which is 2x minus 1. Well, that is not equal to x, so it's not an inverse. You can verify by trying the other side as well. Here, all you could do is like distribute this 2, but it doesn't really look like it's going to go anywhere much. Just like the other ones. Like you could add these together, I guess. But, you know, that's not x, so once again, that's not an inverse. So you're done. Okay, and I think that's it for inverses. Yeah, I guess I'll do this one last one. Graphing the inverse. The easiest way to do it is to pick some ordered pairs like this and write them down. So this is 0, negative 2, 1, negative 1, 2, 2, and 3. Oh, excuse my head, I can't see. 7. And then you can just switch the ordered pairs like we did on the previous page. Instead of 0, negative 2, it'd be negative 2, 0, negative 1, 1, 2, 2, and 7, 3. Just switch those and replot them. So negative 2, 0, negative 1, 1, 2, 2, and 7, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. And it'll look like that. So if you look at the choices now, it looks like that, so it's obviously not this. It's going up and over, so it's obviously not this, it's not that. So it's got to be this one right here, it's A. Okay, and we'll leave it off there. And we'll go back next time with radicals. Woo-hoo! See ya.